Good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers. And this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if you want to see change in your life, you do need to shift and change the energy within inside of self. And so hopefully these readings will give you the information you need to kind of check in, see what your temperature is, so to speak, and see what you need to give yourself. Do you need to take off a layer or put one on? Are you too hot? Are you too cold? How far are you from where you really want to be? That's what my reading should provide you with. I was listening to this reader today, or well, the last couple of days, and it was this crazy reading. It was like, masculine's going through, he's got a court thing and the karmic's so mad about it, and and he's gonna and he's shopping for something and he's gonna buy something for you, and da 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 da. And I was just listening to it, and I just really wanted to point out that those type of readings, while they are very fun, you should look at them as purely entertainment, because all of that information is totally irrelevant to you. Like what the masculine is doing, where he's going, how his partner feels about it. Reducing the people in his life to simply a label like the karmic dehumanizes those people. That person is a person. That person has been wounded by that masculine energy, betrayed by that masculine energy, put into a humiliating position by that masculine energy. And the whole time the reader is just talking about, oh, this is a bad person, and this bad person did these bad things to the masculine. And those type of readings might feed your ego, but they don't feed your soul, and they do not teach you how to be unconditional loving. They do not teach you how to see people as a reflection of yourself. And they also are going to keep you on the twin flame journey, listening to readings about masculine's court dates and whether or not he's won some kind of court case against somebody who's stolen something from him or tried to steal money from him or whatever, until the dawn of time, because those are not going to give you any tools that you need. They're not failing anything except for your ego's desire to find reasons why your person doesn't do what you want them to do. And the reason why your person won't do what you want them to do has nothing to do with that person and everything to do with what you feel you deserve, what you think you deserve, what you've asked for. If you've asked for somebody to be something they are not, you can't be with that person. If you're like, I want this person who's able to communicate, who wants to commit to me, who, feels like they have a deep connection with me, who is spiritual, who is able to express their feelings of love in healthy, positive ways, who, whatever, right? If you're asking for that and the person you're focused on is not that, it's not going to happen. You have to be able to realize that what you've asked for is the essence of something. You have to give yourself first. And then once you're good at giving yourself everything you're asking for someone else, the likelihood that you feel this need to know whether or not that person's won their court date, that's going to go away. It's going to go away. So just look at those readings as fun and entertaining. I guarantee you most of them are not true. There's thousands of people listening to it. Oh, thousands of people are going through that same exact experience, like word for word, verbatim. It's just you're taking it and overlaying it over your own experience. You're not using discernment for the most part when you're listening to those readings. But it's a fun way to check and see what your thoughts and feelings are, whether or not you believe the person is close or not to coming, because that's the only thing that matters, is just what your beliefs are. So I just wanted to say that because I was listening to it and just getting so irritated by it, just being like, this person has thousands of views and the people watching it are not gaining anything. They're not going to come into union because they listen to that reading. There's no way that reading is going to help facilitate them coming into union. It didn't offer any insight into the spiritual journey, which is what tarot cards are about. Tarot cards are not about telling you whether someone won a court case or not. Just, anyway, watch out, look out for those kind of readings, and Just stay in tune with yourself. That's the most important thing on this journey, because it's where you are that determines what your experiences are. Your other person is just literally conforming to your beliefs about yourself. And it seems like that's not true, but it is. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating because you're doing all this work and you're trying to change your mindset and you're trying to change how you think and feel about yourself, and you're still not seeing results. And that's very frustrating. But remember, you picked somebody with a long history. You picked somebody that's difficult for you to believe anything except for what's been happening over and over. You picked somebody who in the 3D is giving you evidence of things that are going on within you. And what's going on within you is like a backlog of wounding from childhood. So that's why it's very difficult. It's a lot easier sometimes to imagine a completely new person that's in alignment than it is to change your mindset about someone else. And I'm there with you and how frustrating it is. It's a very frustrating process. So I feel you, okay? I feel you. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start with feminine energy. Remember, this is the energy of emotion and creativity. It does not mean feminine gendered people or feminine gender identifying people. So if you are considering yourself a feminine identifying person, it does not mean just what's going on within you. It's also what's going on within anyone who's reflecting back your energy. So, top of the deck, overall headspace for the divine feminine. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the headspace, and in the heart space, we have the Fool card. So, we have somebody who is feeling or is thinking of herself as worthy and valuable, and feeling like this is maybe a new, fresh way of thinking about herself, or she's trying to have a fresh take on how she thinks of herself. She's also looking a little haughty. Haughty is like when you are kind of, I guess, stuck up is another word that you would say. Like, you think your shit doesn't stink, kind of a feeling. And I do think we've got a self-righteous, like thinking of self-righteously about herself going on, which is honestly a fresh take, like to a certain extent, feeling like I'm in the right. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I need. And I feel that you're being foolish in not regarding me with the respect I deserve. Definitely. Good morning, Cheryl. Definitely feeling that energy coming from her. She's kind of like, are you kidding me with this foolish business? Like, what is this? Why are you doing that? Like, why do you keep doing these things when you can see who I am and how valuable? I just don't understand. There's definitely this feeling of like, the way you are treating me does not compute. That's not making sense to me. And this is even how you're treating yourself, right? You're being foolish in regards to yourself. Like, there are things will make you feel better about yourself in your life, and you're not doing them, and you're like, why am I acting so foolishly in regards to everything that I could be doing right now? Like, why is that? There's definitely a confusion coming from the feminine about about who she knows she is and how she feels she's either expressing that or being treated. In the back of the mind, underlying all thoughts and decisions, we have major energy of the magician and the wheel of fortune. So there is this feeling of yesterday in the tell me everything spread, she was like, I'm not going to try to make things happen. But underlying all her thoughts and decisions, we have her sitting here being like, should I try to make things happen? Because I can't, because this divine timing thing is fucking bullshit. Like, it's making me feel completely foolish in my life. What am I waiting for? For some fucking prince to come and kiss me awake? Like, I can't keep fucking living my life this way. Like, I need to actually, make the best of the magic that I have, the ability to generate wealth and abundance in this present moment, and stop waiting for things to happen on this clock that never seems to strike midnight. Like, it's just really, I feel super frustrated energy coming from feminine today. I when I did my reading for TikTok on my Tuned In Tarot account, which for some reason wasn't telling people I was live, that's why I popped over to post prayers. I even said like I was channeling through a message of frustration, which I rarely do a channel without cards, but I just came into the reading with this feeling of frustration and even anger. The divine feminine feeling like she has to push things along or move things along because she knows who she is and she's being treated in this foolish manner. The first things on her mind, yep, isolation, the Eight of Cups, and the Lover's card, or the True Love card in the Disney Villains Tarot. So I told you I put a new layer in today of the Prism Oracle for some added insight. I thought that would be kind of fun. And right away we see a divine feminine being like, I don't want to be isolated anymore. I don't want to, what do I got to do? What do I got to do to get out of this isolation? And when she thinks about it, she's got to walk away from wherever she is right now. Whatever situation she is in is requiring her to leave it. So if you have been sitting there waiting for your prince to come, then you need to stop doing that. You need to leave that situation. You need to make a decision or a choice to honor your values. That's very important right now. The divine feminine energy cannot stay where she is. She has to go. Now, we're seeing this energy, which came up for the TikTok reading as well. It was the first card out in the reading for TikTok. So it's interesting to be the first card out for this reading as well, because I shuffle all 6 positions before I flip the top and bottom of the deck. So this is the first card. And in this card, it's 11:11 on the clock when I'm saying this. There is, I'm always, when people ask me if they're pregnant, I'm always like, there is pregnancy tests for that. You don't need a psychic for that. It's really simple. But if you want a pregnancy or a health or a medical reading, please book a private reading. I don't do those in a public forum just because they're very triggering questions. And I'm doing a collective reading right now. So if you want to stick around for a personal reading, I'll be doing that afterwards. But definitely just the drugstore and a pregnancy test for that one, because that's the best way to know if you're pregnant. Okay, so and there's literally a 50-50 chance of that being possible, and it'll tell you right away. And even if it's a little faint, you actually are pregnant. Okay, so we have here that same card coming out where there's this feeling of having her voice taken away, being in isolation and not having a voice, the masculine just leaving you alone where you're speaking into a void. There's no one responding. It's a very frustrating feeling, and divine feminine is like over it. I do think too, in some cases, there is the feminine energy watching the divine masculine with other partners and just being like, okay, what the fuck? I know who the fuck I am. So why am I interested in somebody who's entertaining these other people? Like, go entertain them then. Like, just go do it. Have fun. Enjoy your fucking self. Like, she's definitely over this shit. It's definitely a feeling of like, I'm over this. I don't want to be in these feelings anymore. It's not serving me. I gotta go. I gotta leave. I gotta do something else. I don't know what else, but I gotta do fucking something else. Oh my God. Okay, now we have in the current energy the Love card, the Lover's card, and the Magician. Okay, we just saw the Lover's card. This is the Lover's card from the Disney Villains Tarot. So the first thing on her mind, the Lovers. The second thing on her mind, the Lovers. And making something happen, the Magician energy. Feeling like I must be able to manifest a relationship. I must be capable of that. There must be a way for me to be able to have partnership, companionship. I must be able to tap into the love that I feel and actually receive love in return. That must be possible for me. I feel love. If I feel love, why isn't there love coming back towards me? What am I doing wrong? Why am I continuing to be manipulated by someone else's feelings for me when they have no follow through? Divine Feminine wonders. She feels that she has the power, or that she needs to take her power back, because she knows that this is so out of alignment with who she really is and what she's really capable of experiencing. This is just so out of alignment. So she's got to stop. There's the Death card, the Eight of Swords, and the Six of Wands. So the Death card is about endings. It's about no longer doing something, letting some kind of behavior die, letting some kind of the way she thinks about a situation die, letting that fade away. And then the Six of Wands is overcoming a struggle, an internal struggle, having victory, and finally being at peace. It's like if I could just stop thinking the way that I'm thinking, which is keeping me bound and stuck in place, I know that I could be successful. I know that I could have victory. And I'm even seeing this skirt as a heart almost. It's almost like victory over these feelings of love, of feeling manipulated in love or incapable of expressing love or experiencing love in the way that it should be felt and experienced and expressed. I know that I have to stop thinking about my success, about my struggles in the same way that I've been thinking. That's the behavior that I really do need to leave behind. It is not serving me, it is making me miserable, making me feel really bad. And I will have, not just I have to, but I will have victory over thinking like this. I won't think like this anymore. I'm going to stop. I'm going to end it. No more. Clarifying isolation, the Eight of Cups, and true love. What would she get if she walked away? We're getting abundance, the Page of Cups, which is a card of true love for me, and the King of Pentacles, which is her counterpart to the Queen of Pentacles. So if she can walk away from whoever she's been focused on or whatever lifestyle that she's been stuck in or her comfort zone or something, if she can walk away from that, she can actually experience a person, a real physical person who will express true love to her. Somebody that is going to be innocent, like and not carry the shadow or the darkness that has surrounded maybe another person that she's been focused on, or just relationships in general, or like, you know, like I see a lot of content right now about all men being a certain way, and she's got to have a beginner's mind in order to get out of that Eight of Swords. To have victory over the Eight of Swords means you need to wipe your mind clean and start over again and structure it the way that you want it to be. If you're constantly thinking nothing is working out for me, everything is always going to shit, then you need to wipe that out. You need to stop thinking like that. And you have to think everything is always working out for me in ways that I can't even perceive. There is such a subtle magic flowing through my life that it may seem like things aren't going well for me. But what I don't realize is that every single thing that is happening is a miracle that is putting me exactly where I need to be to receive exactly what I have asked for: love, abundance, prosperity, love, all of it. It's within me, so it has to show itself to me. And if I can just see that the opposite of what I've been seeing. So when you look at your person and you're like, they're not communicating with me, that's the 3D. And the 3D is showing you what you believe. My person won't communicate with me. Okay, I don't want to think that way. I want to think my person always communicates with me. My person always contacts me. My person always chooses me. My person. So if you try to think about a person, and I say those statements, and you're like, yeah, right, that didn't fucking happen, then you know what problem you have, and it's not the karmic. It's not another fucking person in the mix. It's you. It's your thoughts. You have chosen to believe that people do not communicate or express love to you. Therefore, you have chosen somebody that is going to confirm this belief about you. You've either chosen somebody that's incredibly emotionally available, distant, at a long distance, has another family or a partner that's standing in the way. You've chosen someone with an obstacle so you can prove your reality to yourself, and the reality that you believe in is the one that you keep saying over and over to people. And if you don't like it, you have to change your reality by making a different choice. Now, if you're like, but I still want this person, that's probably because there's still a lot of stuff left inside of you that needs to be let go or released or walked away from. Because usually we only want an abusive person when we think we deserve abuse. And not communicating with somebody and ignoring them is incredibly abusive. It's not like getting hit in the face with a fist, but it doesn't mean that your brain doesn't respond exactly the same way, because it does. They've done a lot of studies that show that when somebody is emotionally abused, their brain is affected in the same way if they were hit by someone else. So if you like to perpetuate the feeling of being abused by somebody, then you will continue to choose people who are in the perfect position to perpetrate the abuse. And you don't need to feel down on yourself and be like, wow, I'm such a shitty person because I do that. The only reason you do that is because that's what you learned to do. And it is very hard to learn new skills, especially when you don't know what the old skills are that are keeping you stuck in the position that you're in. So, to change the mindset, you have to walk away from these feelings of isolation and these feelings of always being alone and these feelings of somebody always standing in the way, and recognize that you have chosen somebody that is keeping you stuck alone with obstacles in front of you so that you cannot come into a relationship, and it is likely to protect yourself from abandonment or rejection. Those are the two reasons that we most usually will choose somebody that's emotionally unavailable. I have been living with my parents and experiencing feelings of rejection and abandonment from my mother. And so I know exactly why I chose the person that I chose and why I'm on the path with that person that I'm on. Now, do I still want to be able to like overcome that and be with this person? I don't even know anymore. I really genuinely don't know anymore if I want just like something completely new, if I want to be able to heal it. I just don't even know. What I do know is I want to get the fuck out of here. And the only way I can do that is if you support my channel. So please send me donations, please book readings with me. Please do all the things that you can to help me, because I have been applying for jobs for months. I have not gotten anything, and I am in desperate need of people to follow through with helping my channel and not just consuming my free content and not valuing me. But I have to get out of here, and I'm on my way. I've got my things packed. I'm pretty much ready to go. I just have to mentally embrace getting in the car and driving away without having any savings or any security or any place to go. But I've done that before and it's worked out, and I definitely need to do it now. And you kind of have to do the same thing in regards to your person. You need to pack up the stuff that's meaningful to you, put it in your car, take it with you, and drive the fuck away from this experience that you're having with this person. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but sitting around and waiting is not helping. It's not making it better. There's no change. We're just kind of perpetuating the same things over and over and over again. Underneath love, the lovers, and the magician, we have confidence, the Queen of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. So if you want love, you have to have the confidence that you, as a loving, caring, kind, compassionate, psychic, sensitive individual who can navigate your emotions and are emotionally available, because the Queen of Cups is fucking emotionally available, you have options. You do not have to keep choosing an option that doesn't feel good. I know from being in your shoes that you think that there's nobody that's going to love you the way that this person loves you. Well, let me tell you what. My mother definitely thinks that she loves me better than other people love me. She's my mother. But I can guarantee you that the way that I receive love is not nurturing, supportive, or anything like I would want to be loved. I don't want to be loved by somebody who's judging me and criticizing me and feeling like I'm a failure in my life. That's not loving. That isn't love. So the idea that you've had of love from this other person is so distorted that you're convincing yourself, no, this is the only love that's going to feel good. No, I call bullshit on that. You have to have the confidence that as you have healed your wounds and become emotionally available, which you have done, because you are feeling your feelings, you are expressing your feelings. If you're not doing those two things, then maybe you do need to work on your emotional availability. But for those of you that have put in the work and actually started to feel your feelings, express those feelings when you have them, honor those feelings, then you have options. You have to embrace that there are many ways, there are many paths to receiving the love that you desire. And the outcome underneath death, the Eight of Swords, and the Six of Wands is sweetness, the Four of Wands, and the Devil. Now, the Four of Wands is that 11-11 energy, the mirrored reflective energy of a soulmate, celebration and happiness and healthy foundations in relationship. The Devil is about fear, but it can also be about pleasure, and it's coming up with the sweetness card. So if you can overcome the Eight of Swords, if you can stop thinking about yourself the way that you've been thinking about yourself and overcome the obstacle of your own mindset, then you have the potential to receive healthy relationships and pleasure and sensuality and sexuality, which you've been missing. You've not been experiencing that with anybody in a really healthy, stable foundation. But you're having to face your fears that this person that you have been focused on is the only person who can possibly bring you these feelings that you're seeking. That's an illusion perpetuated by a lot of tarot readers who I now have like active dislike for. If you're putting out a message that you can only be with this one person or this one or your twin or whatever, I'm done with you. You're teaching harmful concepts, and I'm not into it. There's nowhere that is written except by your ego, because your ego loves to keep you trapped and stuck. So don't listen to those messages. They are not true. And you know they're not true because when you hear them, they make you feel bad. If you feel pain in your heart when somebody's like, this is the only person you can be with because you just have to keep fighting for this one single individual that your ego is stuck on, and that doesn't feel good to you, that is a sign that that message is not true for you. Now, there is a benefit to believing that for a while because it helps you to work on your self-worth and your self-esteem. But eventually you hit a point where you realize how untrue that is. All right, so let's look at the masculine energy. This is the energy of the intellect, the energy of the mind, the energy of taking action, and your person will reflect it back to you. And you may see it more in your person than you do in yourself, but if you can find where you have the same thoughts and feelings within you and shift, that's where the healing occurs. That's where you start to be able to move into a really healthy headspace. We have the Ace of Swords upright and the Five of Wands. So the divine masculine is struggling with the truth. He is very blocked from accepting the painful truth about something. And he also, in some cases, he has to reveal truth about a lot of his karmic situations, the cleaning up that he needs to do of the lessons that he has had to learn. Because karmic just means lessons. It doesn't mean a person who's a real pain in the ass. Lessons can be a pain in the ass, but when people say the karmic, that's another thing. Just wipe that out of your mind. There is no the karmic, okay? There is no person that is just the lesson. There's people that are human beings with thoughts and feelings and needs and desires. And your person chose that person. They chose to have interactions with that person. They chose to hurt that person and wound that person and hide your relationship from that person and betray that person. What the fuck? Like, who's the karmic in that story? Like, if your person is willing to really hurt another individual like that because that person hurt them or whatever, that's fucked up. That's not how we're supposed to treat people. That is a clear indication that the person that you're focused on is not in a healthy place. Are you doing that to somebody? Are you hiding something from somebody? Are you betraying them? Even if they've not been good to you, that's something that you need to work on. It's not something that you need to be like, oh, it's okay because the other person's a shitty person. No, that's not a spiritual lesson. That is your ego that is in charge when you are making decisions like that. And that's all right as long as you embrace that, as long as you know that that's not really heart-centered, that that's not really a spiritual way of dealing with people in your life. No. So this masculine energy is having a hard time embracing the truth about what is really blocking him from communicating, what is really blocking him from fully expressing himself. He is not really being honest with himself or you about why he is doing this. He's got excuses, and they are all excuses because at the end of the day, we're seeing 5, 5, and 5. So this person is halfway toward on their journey. They're nowhere near the end of the road right now. They're only halfway there. They're stuck halfway because they are not embracing something. Now we're seeing underlying all thoughts and decisions. In the head space, a focus on separation. In the heart space, a feeling of this stubborn, this like tradition or authority that they cannot get past. And there's definitely spiritual bereavement here. This is somebody who does not, they feel spiritually bereft. They feel like a lack of the divine actually being present in their life. They are not really trusting in the divine connection. They're not trusting that there is this higher lesson that is being learned. They are continuing to focus on just what's in front of them in the 3D and sort of refusing to embrace that what they are really dealing with is a state of lack in general, not just in terms of money, but in terms of affection, in terms of human relationship, in terms of spiritual fulfillment. There is a lack in this person. It is deeply embedded, and they are halfway along on their journey in regards to it right now. So the masculine energy is halfway there. First thing on the mind, we have energy, the 9 of Wands, and the 10 of Swords. So we see right now that they are putting a lot of energy into their healing, especially regarding their ability to wound others with the way they think about themselves, which causes them to behave in a way that hurts the people that they love. So when you don't feel good about yourself, when you have deep wounds within you, you are going to do things in the 3D that are going to confirm that you're not a good person and that you do not do good things. You're going to feel bad about yourself. You're going to act in ways that make perpetuate those feelings. That's why the bully at school is the bully. The bully at school has a terrible home environment normally. They're either experiencing direct neglect or benign neglect, depending on the parent. A wealthy family with a lot of money and security can still abuse their children through how they parent them. It doesn't matter what their background is. If they are a bully, they're a bully because they are having very bad feelings about themselves, and they do what the only thing they can do, they lash out, they hurt others, and that is what causes them to be a bully, is the feeling of the emptiness inside and wanting others to suffer too. And so this masculine is putting a lot of energy into healing these deep wounds about betrayal that they've experienced in their life from parental figures, from past relationships that they've had. I think that they have actually betrayed others, primarily because they experienced betrayal coming from somewhere. Most likely it came from a parent, or an experience they had in childhood, and then that normalized it for them, and so they engage in relationships with that same energy. In the current energy, we're seeing anxiety, the 3 of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. So the masculine is feeling very afraid that he has wounded the feminine beyond repair. He is afraid that having betrayed her, having had another energy, a third party energy, who he focused on, or potentially this Queen of Pentacles being the wife that he cheated on or betrayed by having love and feelings for someone else and not telling her and staying in a connection with her instead of respecting her and letting her go. There's a lot of anxiety about how he treated this maternal energy and maybe how he was treated by maternal energy. And again, it's perpetuating. It's a self-perpetuating thing that comes from all the way back to his inner child. So he feels a lot of anxiety about how he has handled the situation or how he is currently handling the situation. He's also very afraid that the divine feminine will reject him because of how he's continuing to betray her over and over again by not reaching out and communicating. Every time he does that is another act of betrayal. Then we're seeing ideation, the Two of Swords, and the Tower. So he's coming up with a lot of ideas about how to break this standstill with the feminine. And whether it should be unexpected or shocking in some way, or maybe it will be shocking or unexpected for this feminine if he were just to suddenly communicate. I know I would be floored if my person just suddenly communicated with me. I would literally, my jaw would drop to the floor. Primarily because I haven't changed my mindset about it. In my mind, I'm just like, he's never going to talk to me. He's never going to do anything. He's just going to keep doing the same shit over and over and over again for the rest of our lives. And I'm fucking sick of it. Like, that's how I feel. That's how he knows that I must feel at this point. And so it would be shocking if he broke through this standstill. But he's trying to come up with lots of ideas about how to rebuild the connection, which, he's either the feminine released or he had to release because there was no movement because of his lack of decision making. So he's trying to come up with ways. He's coming up with all sorts of ideas to try to affect some kind of change here between the two of them. Clarifying the Ten of Swords, the Nine of Wands, and the Energy card, we have the Ghost card, the Two of Pentacles, and the World. So he has to be done. The Ten of Swords is a completion card. The World card is a completion card. The Two of Pentacles is about making a change, and the Nine of Wands is about coming towards the end of some kind of a journey. Right? We said overall he felt like he was halfway there, but we're actually seeing that he has overcome some things. He's made up his mind to change how he behaves, and he knows that he can no longer ghost the feminine energy, that it's not appropriate, it's not loving or kind. It's like this person. I was talking with my group from the retreat. We meet once a month, and we had our meeting this weekend, and we were talking about how in relationships and abusive relationships, there's all this abuse, and then there's a little bit of loving behavior, loving action, and that's how they keep you in the cycle, right? They do, like they hit you, and then they get you flowers, and they apologize for it. And sometimes even the way that they try to make peace with you is in and of itself a clear indication that they actually have no intention of truly honoring who you are or what your needs are. And this masculine is recognizing that not only has he betrayed the feminine in some other ways that, everybody's got a story. It's just individual to you. But he's also betrayed by then ghosting and being avoidant after whatever has happened. And he's got to make some decision to stop doing that. He's got to put an end to that behavior, to stop this cycle, because he's really just trapped in these cycles, and he doesn't want to be in those cycles anymore. Clarifying the anxiety, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords, we have magic, the Ace of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles. So magic is like the magician energy, but it's a feeling of a powerful feeling, a feeling that you have to affect change, that you can make things shift or change. That's something like a belief in your own power. The Ace of Cups is about that self-love. It's about filling your cup up from the divine. And the Page of Pentacles is about doing things, one small step at a time, having a real physical, material gesture that maybe is small, but it shows that you actually do have love or affection here. It can also be about a sense of worthiness, not having a high self-esteem, not feeling like you're quite capable of working with the material the way that you would like to be capable. In clarifying the Queen of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the anxiety, I feel that this masculine is willing himself, with his power to manifest, to make an offer to the feminine, a small offer. He knows that she's going to analyze it based on the experiences she's had with him in the past, and that's why he feels anxious. Because it's not like he can just make this offer like in that fresh, clean energy that he would like to be in, although Divine Feminine is trying to cultivate that in her mindset. He has to come in and give her this offer in an environment that he created by ghosting and by remaining stuck or afraid in this mindset, this energy of the victim mentality. And he has to make changes and prove that he's made changes in a physical way in order for her to believe in this cup that's being offered. So he's very anxious about being able to accomplish this. He truly does not know if he can actually accomplish that with the divine feminine, if he can actually give her something that will not be rejected because of the pain he's put her through. The final cards we have cleanse, the Six of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. So he has to really cleanse himself of his behaviors in the past. He's got to like wash his hands, and like get rid of any of the stuff from the past that prevented him from actually communicating or expressing. He wants to. There's a feeling here of wanting to wash your hands of what you've done and just start communicating. But there's an awareness based on the spread that it's not possible. Like, it is not possible for this person who has hurt someone else to just come in and pretend it didn't happen. That's the ghosting energy. That's the avoidant energy. So he has to cleanse any desire he has to try to do that, to try to just erase the past or, whitewash it, try to make it feel like it's fine when it really isn't. He has to actually communicate. He has to unpack those wounds is I guess the best way to look at it. If he's wanting to actually be able to reunite with the feminine, he has to clean the wound. You know how it stings when you have a wound and you have to clean it, you have to disinfect it, and it hurts. It's actually very painful to make sure that the wound does not get infected, does not fester, does not have anything left inside of it that could potentially cause future complications. And so that's why the masculine is struggling, because the painful truth is he has to uncover the wound, which is going to make him vulnerable. He has to cleanse it by expressing and communicating how the wound was caused, the reasons why the wound was caused, and that process is painful. And he's afraid of it. He doesn't really want to get the hydrogen peroxide on the cut. He just wants to cover up and pretend it's going to be fine. But in the end, that can cause you to go become septic and die. So you actually do have to take this step to experience pain in order to overcome the pain that you have caused. All right, so this is a heavy energy in this reading today. It is making me feel pretty heavy, so there is that. So let's lighten it up a little bit. Let's bring in the healing energy from the oracles and help process all of this information, so that you can try to find ways to shift the energy within you and clear out that mindset and welcome in what you desire and not what you do not want. So one of the best ways for you to do this is to be playful. Now, we saw the Fool card and Sandpiper Spirit, and Sandpiper Spirit has Fool energy, and the Divine Feminine is needing to take things a little less seriously. Part of the reason why she's so uncomfortable right now is because there is like a why so serious aspect to her. She is like at her wit's end, and when you're at your wit's end, everything looks pretty dark, pretty black. So you want to come out of that energy. So sandpipers are like cute little clowns poking their beaks into the sand before darting off to chase the waves. The appearance of Sandpiper Spirit is a sign that now is a time to engage your playfulness. Whatever tasks you have before you, perform them with a lightness of being. Explore the familiar, discovering the new in the old. Who knows what treasures await you when you let yourself laugh and have fun? Sandpiper Spirit's happy and curious nature can help you to feel rejuvenated as you remember your ability to run and fly and dance playfully. So really embracing a much more playful outlook, a much more joyful aspect of self. This is if you're like into true crime like me, like watching true crime documentaries, or it's 11:44 when I'm saying this, or like kind of heavy dramas. Like I'm finishing up Peaky Blinders right now, like something like that that's like heavy and there's pain and suffering. like maybe just take a break for a little while. Like maybe watch a comedy, watch something a little bit light, or read books from your childhood that made you happy, or you know, just look at the bright side of things. Try to see the bright side of things, because I feel that the mindset of the divine feminine is getting very, very heavy, and it's difficult to shift your energy when you're focused on things that feel like that cause anxiety. I've been feeling a lot of anxiety, which I'm not a person that tends to feel that way a lot. So lighten up, I guess, and is the nicest way I can put it. Um, so the strength card is coming up for divine feminine right now. Now, interesting because it's red, and I was feeling that energy of anger coming from feminine. But let me make sure this is an actual, yes, it is actually a red card. Okay, so red is the most primal and attention grabbing of all colors. It is a pure color in that no other colors can be combined to create it. It is correlated with the root energy center of the body, which is connected to grounding and survival. Red is often associated with excitement, strength, lust, anger, and aggression. Some studies have shown that wearing red may increase your chance of winning when playing sports. As the color of blood, deep crimson red is also often associated with pain. Astrologically, red is associated with Mars, the red planet, which owes its name to the Roman god of war. Where Mars falls in your astrological chart can determine how you react during conflict. Drawing red cards from this deck signals an almost primordial energy, so fiery and strong that it cannot be ignored. When mostly red cards are drawn in a multi-card reading, it means you are being asked to pause and register these powerful feelings and ask how to best deal with this influx of energy. How can you make that energy work for you in a way that's both grounded and productive? How can you bask in its vibrancy without burning out? Um, okay, interesting. I'm also going to look at what colors the Divine Feminine got because I did 6 cards for her. So, first of all, let's read this Strength card. This card refers to mental and emotional strength, not just physical strength. It's about finding the strength to face your fears, overcome obstacles, and move through difficult times. This card is a call to dig deep into yourself and tap into the parts that are strong and courageous, even when you might not feel that way. You'll discover that you hold the strength to overcome whatever you are going through right now. So you have the strength that you need. You are a pillar of strength. You've proven that to yourself again and again. Sometimes it's annoying. It's like, okay, I'm strong enough. Can I have something nice happen? No. Like, why do I always have to fucking be strong? Can I also just like go to sleep and feel at peace? Like, I feel like there were times in my life when I was mildly happy, when I had some things going well for me, like when I had shelter and I was able to pay for a movie sometimes and I could go out to eat once in a while, and I had a partner that wasn't that difficult at the time to deal with. Like, I feel like my life wasn't always like this, but it has been like this for so long, and I'm kind of sick of being, oh, you're so strong, and like, fuck you, I just want to not have to be strong for a little bit. Okay, definitely have that energy from feminine. Now when I look at her spread, she has 2 pink cards and 2 black cards. So we're going to look at when you're getting pink and black cards in your reading. So pink is a common thing among the pink cards in this deck is tenderness and love, which are what you're working with if you draw mostly pink cards. Love and tenderness, either for yourself or another, are really all about approaching things with a sense of gentleness and sensitivity. How can you be more kind to yourself and others? How can you approach life with compassion and an open and soft heart? So those are some things to keep in mind. And then finally, the black cards in your spread. It's an invitation to step into a new phase of your life, which goes so well with the Fool card, which was in the heart space. When black cards come up in a reading, think of the intense opportunity that they bring, whether to create space for newness or cultivate courage, which we saw that the Strength card is here. So you have the courage to face this next new phase of your life, whatever it is. Now, your final card is Between Worlds, and it is the protection message, number 3. And it says, in your work, sometimes you try things that have worked for others, hoping that you too will be successful. When this symbol appears, it reminds you that sometimes the path to your prosperity is a gamble. Win or lose, you can learn much from what comes of your wager. It's a good time to bet on your skills and talents in new and different arenas. Remain curious, and with the right combination of timing and luck, you will stumble upon something golden that will be unlike anything you've known before. Be mindful of your expectations. This is not a time for guarantees. Things will not go exactly as you plan or dictate. Let go and see what spirit has in store. What takes hold in your life will be better than you can imagine. So you may have chafed a lot when I said that you are stuck on one person or one outcome or one situation and you have to embrace a different one. And this is another message right now that one of the reasons why you're stuck between worlds is because you can't accept the ending of the world that you were trying to create. But you were trying to create that from a wounded place of ego. And when you're trying to create something from a wounded place, you create a 3D reality that looks a lot like the one you're experiencing right now. If you can create something from a new space, that new place inside of yourself, where you are no longer feeling your lack of worthiness, you're going to create a much different reality. Like you're going to choose a much different person or a different version of the person that you have selected. Um, like there is no way on earth that I would want a version of my person that I created 10 years ago. No. The person that I created 10 years ago to be with me? No. No. I have healed so many wounds since then that when I think of the person that should be at my side now, they are nothing like the individual that I would have created then. So stop trying to hold on to the creation from yourself from a decade ago. That self is nothing like you are now. You've literally changed every cell in your body since then. You are a totally new person. So let go of this old story that you're clinging to and allow something new and exciting to take its place. Something that's created from a place of less wounding. Something that's created from a place where you've closed out cycles of behavior that no longer serve you. All right, messages from the masculine energy. We have believe in yourself, squirrel energy, squirrel spirit. It is in reverse. So it is the protection message, number 57. And it says, the unpredictability of life can shake your confidence in yourself and your potential for handling the challenges that come your way. Does the thought of not having enough or being enough make you squirrely? And that was a big thing for the masculine with all the fives and the five of pentacles in the beginning. Have you forgotten all your strengths, wisdom, and resources? You have come so far on your wits and creativity, making use of all your potential and all that spirit presents you to help you through life's trying times. It's time to look back on your life and remember how your needs have always been met for the highest good, even in your most challenging times. Life loves you, and so many treasures are hidden in plain sight, ready to be revealed when you most need them. So relax. Squirrel Spirit wants you to know you are poised and ready for whatever is coming next. So trust in yourself and trust that Spirit has your back. So if you have anxiety about leaving behind this person or this version of your life that you've been clinging to and trying something new, just relax and just let Spirit show you where to go, because where you're going is this happiness card. Now, Divine Masculine had a ton of orange. I think ideation and energy are orange and this happiness card. So that is the color I'm seeing the most in his spread. So we're going to just read that one color for him. Orange combines the fiery energy of red with the optimism of yellow. Like a sunrise signaling a new day or a burst of citrus, it can elicit feelings of warmth, happiness, and high energy. As a friendly, playful hue, orange can give off a sense of joy when worn. Like red, orange is a stimulating color. In fact, it is sometimes used in fast food restaurants as a device to keep people moving. Working with orange and color magic can help curb procrastination, giving you a boost of energy in order to move forward with your goals. If mostly orange cards come up during a multi-card reading, it's a sign to really tap into joy and playfulness during this period of your life. Orange is full of energy, which can be invigorating, but also overstimulating. How are these energies emerging in your life right now? Are you feeling excited, or is the energy feeling a little too intense? If it's too intense, take a moment to release that energy with a sense of play. Now is the time to take a moment and celebrate all the joy that is apparent within your life in all the forms that it takes. And I love that Bowie is playing with her toy right now. Emphasizing playing, huh? Are you helping us learn our lesson? Okay, so his card of happiness says, happiness is one of the most beautiful feelings, as if the world is a shimmering around you. But we seldom acknowledge when we're feeling good and instead focus on when we're feeling bad. So take this time to cherish your happiness. Really experience it and feel its warmth. I'm noticing there's even a lot of orange in that squirrel card. So having gratitude for things that do make you happy and feel good is very important for the masculine energy right now. And the final message is go the motherfucking distance. We actually got this card and in our group this weekend. So it's good to see it again. It's number 47. And it says, endurance, strength, and the long haul. To bring your dream to life, you must think long term and pay no attention to the fluctuations in the current of your experience. Joy and disappointment commingle with opportunity, so there is no need to fear the occasional obstacle. Life is not a sprint. This card is a reminder that you have endurance, strength, and fortitude to carry you all the way. Remain true to yourself. Your authenticity alone will keep you in alignment with the energy of miracles. What is yours will never be withheld from you. Remember that. You either are in or are calling in a harmonious relationship that can stand the test of time. For better or worse, as you ride the ups and downs and even strain, break yourself, and are remade in new growth, you are being redeemed by the power of regeneration. Harmony does not mean there will never be a wrong note played, but that the relationship is marked by endurance and dedication to overall unity. A new song can be written, an instrument can be tuned, and the symphony of love will play on. Listen with your heart. Isn't it magnificent? Your most precious dreams are not about instant gratification, but about enduring prosperity. This is a time to think long term and engage in continued action. You will experience momentum building as you translate the ebb and flow into slow and steady movement forward. Your efforts, ideas, and hard work now can lead to greater riches than you can imagine. Stoke the fire so that an uninterrupted stream of energy is available to support you in all the phases of manifestation. Be assured that you are in the right place right now. So, whatever you've been thinking about, planning, wanting to do, you are in the right place with it. You're going in the right direction. Just keep enduring, tap into the strength of the feminine energy, and just keep persisting. Persist, persist, persist. All right, I'm going to close out my YouTube reading over here. I will be back on Wednesday, and I'm going to go over here to my TikTok, which I'm at Pearl's Prayers right now instead of Tune In Tarot because Tune In Tarot wasn't going live for some reason. And I will be doing some personal readings for those of you who would like them. $11, $22, or $33. There's a link in my profile where you can donate. Excuse me. Okay. I shall see you over on TikTok if you're going to continue with us over there. Otherwise, I will see you Wednesday. YouTube, have a glorious day today. Take care.